What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? It is April 7th, 2021, and tonight is very exciting. It is our first ever NXT Post Show. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's show down in the chat. I thought that it was fantastic. And to be honest, I thought we had a great night of wrestling all around from both sides. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 absolutely delivered everything that I thought it was. I'm very excited. There's some interesting changes here, some swerves that I did not necessarily expect here as well. So I'm excited for the future. And man, I'm very excited. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa ruled. That match was everything that I thought it would be. So good. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about the show in the chat down below. And sorry, I did had to delay the show by like 5 minutes because it was just hectic. Everything is so crazy going into a Wednesday night war, if you will, here especially with NXT running over their time slot every single week. So it's always a pain to get the show started on time, but I'm very excited. And you guys, more than anything, this was the last night of the Wednesday night wars. Whether you were on board with the wars or whether you thought that it was stupid and that they didn't even matter, it's over. Tonight is the last night. It is what it is, and tomorrow will be the last night of the ratings wars. For me posting on Instagram, it's going to be sad. It's certainly going to be a bittersweet moment. I always love seeing the comparisons between Dynamite and NXT, and that's just not going to happen anymore. But I am excited for the future. As of now, we can actually watch these shows in peace. We can watch NXT on Tuesdays in peace. We can watch Dynamite on Wednesdays in peace. Man, you love to see it so much. All right, now let me get into chat here. I want to thank all of you for being here. Leroy, how are you doing, my friend? James Wheeler, CF, I know it's you, Charlotte Flair. I know it's you. You can't shorten your name. I still know who you are. Philip, how are you doing, my friend? Anthony, always a pleasure to see you as well. OB James, Chris is here. Ayan, how you doing, my friend? Alex, let's see here. We got Hacker Man Jaden here as well. Flash, my fellow disciple, my friend, always a pleasure to see you as well. Let's see here. We got Safa in the building. Warrior Nation, how are you doing, my friend? Kristav is in the building. Vanch as well. Alex, Rated C, Hoodie, Scooty, how are you doing, my friend? Molly Man is here. It's been a while. How are you doing, my friend? Nate the Great One is here as well. Jinder Mahal is in the building as well, and so is I Saw It First. How are you doing, man? How are you guys doing? Rated C says, I'm mad at Impact Wrestling now. How the hell did Impact drop the ball on the Rascals? Kind of crazy, right? I was not expecting to see MSK win the championships tonight. I really thought it was going to go to the Grizzled Young Veterans. That is what I had in my predictions video, and I was wrong. But I'm very happy for them. This is a huge accomplishment for them. And, you know, I love to see the emotion. Like, the emotion is so good. So, like, after they won the championships, you know, they were hugging each other and all that stuff. Like, that's, at the end of the day, that's what I love to see in wrestling. I love to see it. Jared says, how was your day and how is your night going? Mine is great, man. It's great. It was chaotic. It's always chaotic to cover 2 wrestling shows in one night, but I think I did a fantastic job tonight. I don't think that I really missed much, if anything, to be honest. Tonight I was on top of it. I wanted to cover both of these shows, and I really wanted to watch NXT TakeOver tonight. It was amazing. They delivered. I'm very happy with it. Like I said in my predictions video, if you watch those, or I guess if you didn't watch them, I'll tell you now. I was a little bit worried about NXT running 2 shows back to back like this. Typically, takeovers are pretty small. Usually, they only have about 5 or 6 matches on them, or somewhere around there. They're always short and sweet. NXT is typically is usually about quality over quantity. So I was certainly worried to see them put on 2 shows, and night 1 killed it. Night 1 killed it. I think we're all in agreement here that night 1 was absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited. And, you know, I think that, if I'm being honest, I feel like night 1 was the weaker of the 2 cards. So I'm very excited for tomorrow, man. Very excited. And I can't tell you guys how excited I am to actually just sit here and watch these shows. Like, I can't express it enough how excited I am. It's going to be so good. And I'm so tired of listening to people bitch about double coverage. There is I don't understand why. But there was a bunch of people like super mad at my first AEW post, as if I was just going to watch NXT tonight and not do double coverage like I've done since the beginning of AEW. I don't think that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure since AEW Dynamite started, I've always covered both of them. Aside from the nights where we were dealing with the house stuff and I had to take the night off. But other than that, it's always been double coverage. And tonight, sorry, it's going to be double coverage as well. Jaden says, was I the only one surprised that Raquel won? I mean, I don't know, but I feel like, I predicted that Raquel would win. I thought it was pretty obvious that she was going to win this one, but maybe not so much to everyone else. Christoph says Devlin versus Escobar is going to be flames. Yes, I cannot wait to see this one. Cannot wait. Safa says to think this was the weaker of the 2 nights. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. It's crazy. Night 2 is going to be stacked as well. Let me go ahead and I don't remember it off the top of my head. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 match card. Philip says, sorry, I gotta go. I'll come back. Sounds good, man. We will be here talking about NXT. D&M says night 1 was honestly unpredictable. I had Champa, EO, Grizzled Young Vets, Dexter Loomis, Kushida. All my predictions are wrong, but that's what makes me love this one. Yeah, there's nothing, there's never anything wrong about getting your predictions wrong. I feel like if you're always getting 100%, that it's kind of on the company, man. Like everything's too predictable. So, Van says, and that's how you book a 2-hour show. Yes, it is, man. That was great. Marcel says, we need to talk about Jericho's all-timer promo. It was very good. If you guys do want to talk about AEW Dynamite tonight, we can. But I do want to go through NXT first, I believe. Yeah, let's go ahead and go through NXT first. And if you guys want to, if there's enough people that want to talk about Dynamite afterwards, we can certainly do that as well. Rated C says NXT tweeted, will always be NXT proud of you, Io Shirai. We are NXT TakeOver. Please just keep her in NXT for a while. Oh yeah, man, that kind of sounds like it might be a goodbye, if you ask me. Sounds like a goodbye. But anyways, I wanted to touch on D&M Travels, his comment a little bit more, saying that it was unpredictable. A lot of people thought that Champa was going to win, but I really didn't think that they were going to have Walter dethroned on kind of a random feud, if you will, with Tommaso Ciampa. So, God, I saw a post today. I think Walter has been the United Kingdom champion for 734 days and counting as of right now. Very impressive. So I don't know if there's a person in NXT or in NXT UK right now that is worthy of dethroning Walter, but I do know that when it happens, man, that is going to be a huge thing. And the person that beats him, they're going to be propelled to the moon. It's going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Raven says, if I had it my way, Zaya would have dethroned Io. Oh, man. That would have been so good. Where is Tian Shaw? By the way. Where is Tian Shaw? Elver says, NXT TakeOver was good tonight. Night 2 is going to be an absolute banger. I cannot wait. And this is where the week starts to get a little bit crazy here, because there is no stopping from here on out. We have wrestling every single night. Tomorrow we have NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 ahead of us. On Friday we have SmackDown. Saturday we have WrestleMania. On Sunday we have the Broken Skull Sessions episode with Chris Jericho on it, and WrestleMania Night 2 as well. Then we have Monday Night Raw, followed by the debut of NXT on Tuesday. Then we have Dynamite on Wednesday. For those of you that watch Impact, you have that on Thursday. And then we have Friday Night SmackDown. It is one crazy week. And with that being said, just to clarify, I will not probably be watching Impact this week or covering it, but I might do so later down the line. Now that it's going to be on its own night, that might be a thing. We'll see. We shall see. Anthony says, AOW, I hate that Dexter Lumis lost tonight. Oh, lost to LA Knight. Yeah, I had Dexter Lumis going all the way. But I guess it makes sense, they'll have, I guess I kind of had it backward. In my predictions, I said that Dexter Lumis would win because I thought that Bronson Reed and LA Knight would continue to have a feud, but it's actually Bronson Reed that won, and Dexter Lumis and LA Knight are going to have a feud. So, interesting. Interesting. Leroy says that NXT TakeOver was such good shit, and that tomorrow will also be such good shit. Van says these 1.5 years, both shows have showed so much good shit. Oh, that's a lot of good shits. I saw first says, damn, everyday wrestling sounds exhausting. Good luck, man. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It is going to be a lot. And you know what? But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. There's a lot to look forward to. I think tonight, depending on what time we get out of here, I'm going to try and record my WrestleMania Night 1. I mean, at least my WrestleMania Night 1 predictions video to have that up in the morning. And I'll try to do Night 2 as well, but I'm a little swamped with things right now, so I might have that ready on Friday morning as well. Elver says, I really thought that Lumis and Kushida would win. I was rooting for Champa to win, and I thought that Timothy Thatcher would show up. I was expecting Thatcher to show up as well. Like that, it's not something that I had on my predictions list. But people did mention that down in the comments, and I was like, damn. Like, I didn't even think about that. Yes. And then he didn't show up. So that was kind of upsetting. Ian says, for me, match of the night was Champa versus Walter. It was so damn good, and there was still one more night left. Yeah, that is the match of the night for me as well tonight. Walter versus Champa. I think that delivered. And, it was exactly what I expected it to be. Safa says, Bronson has been pushed very hard. I hope that he goes on to win the NXT North American Championship tomorrow at Night 2. I hope that he does. Johnny Gargano's been in the North American Championship scene for quite a while. I don't know what this is, his third reign as North American champion. Give it to Bronson Reed. Let's see what he can do with it. Let's see. Hoodie says, who will dethrone Walter? I have no clue, dude. Not even the slightest idea. And I mean, it doesn't help that I don't watch NXT UK whatsoever, so I'm not too familiar with people around there, but I don't know. I think that person's probably not wrestling in WWE yet, or they haven't reached that point. I can't see anyone dethroning Walter anytime soon. And if I'm being completely honest about it, he's had the championship for 734 days and counting right now. So I feel like we're past that point where it's like they need to get it off of him. I think right now it's just time to continue to have him hold it until that perfect moment's there. It's going to be a huge deal. It's going to be a huge deal when someone beats Walter and dethrones him. So the timing has to be right. The stage has to be right. The person has to be right. Everything has to be right about it. So no rush. Absolutely no rush. Molly Man says, I'm not sure. I didn't watch tonight. That's why I'm asking AOW. Let me see. Molly Man says, what the hell was that Sting segment, though? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm kind of confused as well. We'll talk about it if you guys want to, but I do want to talk about NXT first, like I said. Elver says, who do you think would win in a match between Brock Lesnar and Walter? Man, that'd be a good match. I don't know. I don't know who would have to go over on that, though. Van says, I've got a serious question. I got an answer for you. Oh, is it what if Walter chops Big? I would love it. I would love to see it. Kizza says, didn't they change Pete Dunne's theme? Yeah, why? Does anyone know why they changed Pete Dunne's theme? Pete Dunne has one of the best themes in the business, and they changed it to something else. I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. Marco says, hey, Mr. AOW, good night. You have a good rest of your night as well, my friend. Pavan says, who do you think is the right contender to defeat Walter and dethrone him? Like I said, I have no idea. No clue. Van says, if we look at it generally, then night 1 is just a piece of cake. What we're going to have for night 2. Yes. Yes. James says CFO does not work for WWE anymore. Pete Dunne was that a CFO theme? Man, they need to work it out. All right. This is not going very well. Like, if all of these music changes are literally because the CFO money signed CFOS, whatever the hell they are, whatever you call them, if all of this is just simply because they're not working with them anymore, they need to figure something out, because they've lost a lot of very good themes, and it takes away from the character so much, if you ask me. I'm not a huge fan of, these wrestlers having these iconic themes and just having them slip away. Pete Dunne's theme is incredible. Keith Lee's theme was incredible as well. Like, all of these changes they're just not good. Like, imagine if Stone Cold just randomly didn't have his theme. How weird that would be. And they just changed it to some generic rock music. That would suck. That would suck. Leroy says Kane's Hall of Fame speech was so emotional last night. I did not watch the Hall of Fame at all. My fiance watched some of it. I came out there to watch a little bit of it. I saw that it was in the Thunderdome, and I heard the ungodly loud fake crowd noises, and I had to dip out. I was done. There was no way. There was no way I was gonna sit around and watch that. No. And I heard it was like 4 hours long too. So yeah, no thanks. No Hacks, how you doing, my friend? Hope you had a great night. Hope you enjoyed whatever show or shows that you watched tonight as well. So I did bring this up here for night 2 of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. So if you guys aren't familiar with the card for tomorrow, we have Santos Escobar taking on Jordan Devlin to figure out who the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion is, and that is going to happen in a ladder match. That's going to be one to watch for sure. We have Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defending their NXT Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. We have Johnny Gargano defending his NXT North American Championship against Bronson Reed. Should be a great one as well. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match. And then we have Finn Balor defending his NXT Championship against Karrion Kross. So some crazy matches tomorrow night. The bigger of the matches as well, if I do say so myself. Jared says, did they have fans in NXT tonight? They did. Yes, they did. There was, I think someone said about 130 people or something like that. But it was great. It was great. Kizza says, like, they changed Buddy Murphy's theme and his old one is badass. His new one sucks. Yes, dude. Buddy Murphy's theme was so good back in the day. I loved that. Loved it so much. Pavan says, I just really hope that Io stays in NXT. I'd stop watching if Io loses to Big in the main roster. Yeah, I'm not sure though, man. I'm not sure if Io is going to be staying in NXT or not. I'm also not quite sure if Adam Cole is going to be staying in NXT, and I'm not quite sure that Karrion Kross is going to be staying in NXT either. All of those people might be leaving. Anthony says, did you also watch the pre-show match? I did not. No, I was too busy cooking some dinner, so I did not watch that. James says, The Rising is my favorite Def Rebel theme song. Nice. Cornelia says, Walter versus Champa is match of the year candidate. They beat the living shit out of each other tonight. Great match. Yes, I love it. I think it was my favorite match of the night for sure. Pavan says, what is your take on the Hall of Fame yesterday in front of the Thunderdome without a crowd and without anyone from the main roster? Like I said, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I don't know. Christoph says, what was I cooking? A chicken breast, asparagus, and we had like a healthy vegetable mac and cheese thing as well. It was all right, but it was weird. Mally Man says, would you file this Raquel Gonzalez victory under things you love to see? Yeah, sure. I feel like it would have been a lot better had she not lost the women's tag team championships, though. I think that was dumb. And at the end of the show, just a little FYI, they did say that they said that Raquel Gonzalez was the first ever NXT Women's Champion, or the first NXT Women's Champion to hold the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships as well. And ding dong, hello, Ember Moon is currently the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, like one half of them with Shotzi Blackheart. I don't know if you remember Ember Moon, but once upon a time, many moons ago, Ember Moon was the NXT Women's Champion as well. But apparently commentary forgot about that, or whoever was writing the commentary script must have forgot about Ember Moon. Poor old Ember Moon, man. Philip says, I'm the new leader of the Nexus. When I come to the WWE Championship, I'm going to keep it forever because the Nexus are my backup. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Andre says, where was Dakota after the match? I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. I do expect to see Dakota Kai turn on Raquel Gonzalez at some point in the future. Really expecting to see that. Cornelia says, your picks tomorrow for night 2. If you want to see my picks for night 2, I got you, bro. I got you. Let me see here. And I got to make sure that this doesn't play. If you want my NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 predictions, you can find them here. There you go. Give that video a good old like as well while you're there. Van says, I was shocked when Walter chopped the table and the table got broken half. Obi James says, I wonder if we are going to get Raquel is going to have a feud with Dakota. Yes, I would say so. Say less, brother. I got you. I got you. James says, that's it, man. That's the end of the Wednesday Night War, an evening which will be remembered for years to come. Yeah, and the cool thing about tonight is that even though NXT was a pay-per-view, both shows were excellent. I enjoyed both of them from start to finish. They are like, at the end of the day, NXT and Dynamite, they're similar, but they're also two completely different things. NXT is very wrestling focused. Well, at least it seems in the presentation that NXT is more wrestling focused, whereas opposed to Dynamite is more on the sports entertainment side. Is that picture not large enough? Did I goof? I did. I done goofed. And then I fixed it. There we go. But yeah, both shows were really great tonight. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future with all of them. I think Raquel is going to lose the title to Shirai. There you go. Breezango should have been in the tag team match. I love Breezango, man. I love him. John says, what is your match of the night prediction for night 2 of TakeOver? For me, it's hard to bet against Kyle and Cole. Yeah. I certainly have Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole being the match of the night. I do think the NXT Championship match, or the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match will be one not to miss as well. I think that'll be a great one. Basili says, guys, sorry I'm late, but we all owe the great keeper of truths. He called it the elite is fine. The inner circle is fine. I'm telling you guys, everyone is fine. I've been saying it forever. Everyone's fine. Everyone is fine. Kizza says, I think Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole will steal the show tomorrow night. I couldn't agree with you more. To be honest with you, I think that match should headline the entire night. I think it should headline the pay-per-view. Philip says, I'm just kidding. I'm not the new leader of the Nexus. Wade Barrett is still the leader of the Nexus. Wade Barrett is going to win the WWE Championship, and I hope the Nexus returns. Fair enough. You got demoted that quick, Philip? What's going on over there, man? What's going on over there? Anthony says, did you watch NXT on Peacock or USA? Good question. I watched NXT on Peacock. The reason why I watched it on Peacock, if you want an answer for that, is that I'm on the West Coast. So when I have to watch shows like Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, I have a workaround to watch SmackDown. I have to stream them. I have to find a stream for them because they don't air here until 3 hours later. So it was either watch a shitty quality stream or watch it on Peacock and be able to watch it in high quality. So I chose Peacock. And I don't know why it is this way, but one of my family members has DirecTV, so I'm able to log into their DirecTV account and I can actually watch TNT Network from there. So I can watch Dynamite on the East Coast timing here, but you can't watch the USA Network. You have to be on the same internet connection as your like home box or something like that. So I can't actually watch the USA Network on East Coast time. So I have to stream those ones. SmackDown, they actually have an app, like a Fox Sports app, that you can watch SmackDown on at the East Coast timing, even if you're from the West Coast. So Cornelia says, where are you from, brother? I am in Oregon. No Hack says, I also watched NXT on Peacock and there was a bad delay. Was there? I didn't notice. I wasn't comparing the two. And I also don't have ads on Peacock, so I'm not sure if they showed them or not. DMM says, I'm gonna give Peacock a chance. If they don't get better by 4 to 5 months, it's a disaster. Actually, so I do want to talk about Peacock here a little bit. I was going to post it earlier today, but I actually didn't end up getting to it. Let me see here. Actually, we have something else that I want to mention as well before we get on to it. Did I not save this? Oh no. Oh, okay, here it is. So this was from PW Insider. This was posted earlier today. It is from Paul Jordan. He says, I reached out to the Peacock Twitter account after seeing a report that some users will get the rewind and restart functionality on the live WrestleMania broadcast, and this was their response. At the moment, player controls will be available on supported iPhones, iPads, and Apple TVs for WrestleMania. We will be adding this feature to additional devices by SummerSlam. So if you're one of those people like me, I watch on an Apple TV. So hopefully we will be able to actually have this function here. That's great. That is absolutely great. I'm excited for this. The thing that sucks though is that if you're an account like me and you use your iPhone to take screenshots and stuff, you still will not be able to take screenshots or videos of anything on Peacock. You will have to use a computer. And from what it sounds like, it didn't sound like they said that PC will have that functionality either, just Apple products, which is a huge shame. Huge shame. There's one more thing that I want to talk about before we get into NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And I'm sorry, I will get to the chat in just a second as well. This was also posted today by PW Insider. This one by Mike Johnson. He says that WWE President Nick Khan appeared on today's The Colin Cowherd podcast, and during the appearance stated 2 major female stars would be returning to WWE soon. Khan stated that Becky Lynch would be returning in the not too distant future after taking time off to have her first daughter with Seth Rollins this past December. She last wrestled at WrestleMania 36, defeating Shayna Baszler. Even more interestingly, Khan stated that UFC Hall of Famer Ronda Rousey will be returning. Rousey's existing WWE deal was announced as expiring on April 10th, 2021 previously, so Khan's statement would indicate she and the company have come to terms on a new agreement. Khan stated Ronda Rousey would be back, describing the return as happening at a certain period of time. So, expect to see Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey on WWE TV here in the not too distant future, to quote Nick Khan. They need it, man. They need it so bad. The Raw and SmackDown women's division, man, in shambles. It's kind of even a shame to call it a women's division at this point. It's more of a Divas division. Last week, between Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, the women got 3 matches totaling in 6 minutes combined. For a two shows combined, 5 hours of runtime, they got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. That's crazy, man. At least, for Monday Night Raw this week, there was a 12-minute women's tag team women's tag team match. But last week, John says, would you be interested in a Ronda versus Rhea match? Oh, of course. Of course. Jan says, AEW, what title changes are you expecting tomorrow at night 2? There are 4 titles on the line. Oh, I think you'll just have to watch my NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 predictions video to find that out. I want to get better at self-promoting. There you go. There's my video. Andre says, did you like the NXT NA match? We haven't seen it yet. It's tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Alex says, I hope that Bailey does a ding dong hello with special guest at Mania and it's Becky. That'd be cool. That would be cool. DNM says, do you have a voice effect for Glorious for Robert Roode? No, but I could get one. I do want to do a couple more of these.
Confused right now. Oh my goodness.
This could be the worst event in wrestling history.
I mean, this one, that certainly doesn't apply to the show tonight, but I would like to have a couple more of those. So if you guys have any suggestions for those, I would love to put more of those in there. So just some great moments. I do, I think we're going to have a special intro for either Friday for SmackDown or for, I might wait and do them on Saturday and Sunday. Might do them on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe. We'll see. I think it'll be great. Andre says, I meant the Gauntlet match. Oh yeah, I like the Gauntlet match. It was good. I was surprised to see the winner. That's not who I was expecting to see, but I'm excited for them for sure. James says, I actually thought Becky Lynch was going to wind up in the Hall of Fame later in the year after her pregnancy announcement. That'd be crazy. Kizza says, I'm from UK. We don't have Peacock. We still have the WWE Network. Fair enough. I no longer have the WWE Network. It's sad. It's weird. It was weird to go to Peacock today. No Hack says there weren't any ads in the stream, but compared to the USA feed, there was a pretty bad delay. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Well, I guess I won't be able to check that out because it was kind of a one-time thing. No Hack says, I hope Bronson wins. Me too, man. Me too. I would love to see Bronson Reed as the NXT North American champion. I saw it first as your thoughts, match of the year, Rey Fenix versus Kenny Omega or Walter versus Champa. I don't know. And see, I'm not really good at stuff like that. I would have to watch both of them back to back. I'd have to go back and watch both of them back to back. They were dropping? It doesn't show that I dropped any frames. It shows all green on here, at least on my side. Might have to get that figured out. Victor says, if Io gets called up, I hope she goes to SmackDown because I would like to see her feud with Sasha Banks. Sure, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Kizza says, WWE is treating Shayna Baszler so poorly. Ever since she came up on the main roster, she should be on top of the women's division. Couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. 999 says, do you think because Io Shirai lost the title, she gets pushed to the main roster? And who do you think, if any, gets pushed to the main roster? Yes. So in my predictions video, I said that I think we could potentially see Io Shirai move to the main roster, and also Adam Cole and Karrion Kross would be on that list as well. DNM says, I'm honestly glad Leon Ruff didn't win. I'm sorry, but he's a rat. That skinny dude can't get hurt so easily by just a touch of a finger unless he gains some serious muscle. He ain't gonna last. So for me, I never have like I'm never that person that is like that really cares about someone's size per se. If someone's short, really tall, skinny, fatter, like it doesn't really matter to me as long as the things that they're doing are believable. And I think that Leon Ruff is great. I think he has a great moveset and stuff like that, but I think that he has I think he has a way to go. And I didn't like them adding him into the North American Championship scene. I didn't like having him win the championship or anything like that. And it's nothing against him personally or anything, but it just wasn't for me. That's not the kind of content that I go to NXT for. That's kind of like a Monday Night Raw type deal. So I just think that it didn't fit for NXT. And I'm like I said, I'm fine with him. I think he's good, but he's still got a little bit to go. James says, I think while Bayley was reading her sweet tweets cards, Vince McMahon tweeted, "Hey Bayley, no WrestleMania for you. As of now, you are being pulled from TV until after Mania." That's why she got mad. Would make a lot of sense. All right. Ayan says, literally my school classes are going on and I'm watching your post show, and that's the type of support I give. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But school is very important. There's always the post shows always go to VODs afterwards. If you want to watch them, you can always watch them afterwards. I actually think you can even scrub through them while we're live as well, which is a pretty cool feature for YouTube. They don't have that on Twitch. John says Leon Ruff is gonna go to the main roster just to get into a short guy storyline with Sheamus and then join the Alpha Academy. Oh God. Oh God. No, please, no. Don't do it. Okay, so with all of that being said, I don't think there's any other like breaking news or anything. So let's go ahead and get into tonight's NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 show. If you guys are here and you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to hit that like button as well. Super chats are open, and you can now become a disciple yourself to help support the channel. There is a join button right by, I believe, where the subscribe button is if you want to help out and support. And I kind of have some cool news. I think I told you guys on Monday that I had a meeting on Tuesday and that I was going to go pick something up. And I did. I went and picked myself up a Sony a6100. I got the camera. It's ready to go. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger. And, I'm kind of designing the assets and everything of how I want it to look when I do add the face cam and everything. So I was playing with it all night last night. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. I still need to add some lights and stuff like that, but man, it is looking good. It is looking so good. I'm not sure when I'm actually going to pull the trigger and do it, but I do have it. I'm going to play with it a little bit more. Like I said, I want everything to be perfect. I don't want it to look bad by any means. And, I want to come out of the gate swinging. So it's open season when I get face cam. I'm taking all of this to the moon. For sure. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to do a ton of videos. Hope to open up other opportunities as well. I think it's fun. But like I said, it'll happen. I don't have a date. Jan says, when do you expect you're going to do it? 1 month, 2 months, next week? I don't know. 2 months sounds pretty decent. There's still some stuff that I need to do. Some stuff that I need to work on and perfect. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. A lot of stuff. So there's got to be some preparation in it, and I want to come out and I want to have I want to have the best presentation out there over anyone. I don't care. I want to have the best presentation. I want to have the best production over anyone else. I think it will set me apart from so many people, and that's what I'm aiming to do. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. I'm fine. Like, it doesn't matter, like, paying for all of this stuff, but I do need to have some graphics and stuff made that I think will take things to the next level as well. So I have to, like, kind of sketch all of that out and plan it out and find someone that is really good at being an artist and drawing and creating content. So I need to get that done as well. So there's just a lot. There's a lot in there, but I do have it. Molly Man says, can't believe tomorrow will mark 3 years since WrestleMania 34 took place. How crazy time flies. Crazy. James says, somewhere out there, the Wednesday Night Wars are saying good night and goodbye, satellite. Echo effect for words in the parentheses. Oh, goodbye. Or good night and goodbye, satellite. There you go. Zach says, we are all going to the moon. That's right. Especially all the disciples. Yes. Look at that. All the disciples. Look at that. You love to see it. Thank you guys for your support, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. Elver says Dexter Lumis versus Karrion Kross should eventually happen within the next year. Well, I think Karrion Kross is going to Raw or SmackDown. Van says, forget the camera, get us AOW Underground. I know, man. I gotta get in contact with Cameron Grimes. Gotta get him. Get some woos for the face cam, sure. For the eventual face cam. There we go. I have a lot of ideas. To be honest, I have too many ideas. I think that's going to be a problem. I have too many ideas that I want to do, especially for the big first episode. Like, I'm going to hype the hell out of it for as long. I'm going to milk it as long as I possibly can. But I have a really cool idea that I want to do. And you'll understand when you see it happen. I think it'll be great. Clayton, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. 999 says, gonna have to disagree with school being important. School doesn't teach you about how to be an adult. Would rather learn about taxes, how to pay bills, etc. The American school system is horrible. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to talk about the school system. DNM says, I'm really glad Cameron Grimes is winning matches now with the new gimmick. Hope they can keep it up. Yeah, I love Cameron Grimes now. So good. So good. James says, money. I'm stacking money. I can see it. Oh, to the moon. There we go. Oh, didn't turn it off in enough time. Okay, so like I said, let's get into talking about tonight's show. So tonight's pay-per-view on free TV, NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Night one started off with Pete Dunne taking on Kushida. This was a great match. Very great match to start off the show. I'm a huge fan of Pete Dunne. And on the other hand, I'm a huge fan of Kushida. I had Pete Dunne winning this match. That was in my predictions. Pete Dunne did end up winning this match. I'm not sure where he's going to go from here, though. It would be nice to see Pete Dunne go back and face Finn Balor again for the NXT Championship. I really think I would like to see that. They're really good. Pete Dunne should stay in the main event scene. For me, I would have Kushida lingering around that NXT North American Championship scene. I think that he fits in perfectly there. And at some point in time, I would love to see him have a North American Championship reign as well. I think it'd be interesting. What was that, a couple months ago, where they had Kushida just dominating anyone and everyone. He was beating up Velveteen Dream. I think he beat up Austin Theory as well. There were a couple other people that he beat up, and he was just like super aggressive. I loved that version of Kushida, and I wanted to see them really do something with it, but they never really did. There was never really a huge payoff for it, and he just kind of seems like he's back to his normal self, which is fine with me. I feel like a lot of times I do miss a lot of the storyline stuff for NXT since I'm predominantly watching Dynamite, but that will be changing going forward, of course, since they are actually going to be on Tuesdays. So it'll be nice to actually be in the loop for everything and not miss anything going forward. But yeah, like I said, both of these guys are excellent. They put on a great match. Very, very satisfied with it. I want to see Pete Dunne stay or go back to that main event scene. Kushida needs to stick around and find something else to do as well. But, I kind of feel like NXT is a little, what is the word? Crowded? Is crowded the right word, or stacked, I guess? There's a lot of people that could really be in the NXT North American Championship scene. I mean, you guys saw it today with the Eliminator Gauntlet and all that stuff. There's a lot of people that kind of belong in that division that I could see having a run with that championship as well. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how they navigate through this and who they pick next for it. I definitely, I think I said this earlier, but I'm ready for Johnny Gargano to get out of that NXT North American Championship scene. Have some new people come in, have them, feud with each other and all of that stuff. Do some interesting stuff with it. That's what I want to see going forward. Andres says Kushida is so good. He is, man. Very good. Flash says, I'm starting to get this feeling that Cole vs. O'Reilly will indeed main event night 2. Also, this match has vibes of Triple H versus HBK at SummerSlam 2020 or 2002. I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see that match main event. And I mean, you could do it. You could do it just fine. You could do what AEW did with the Lights Out match. This match is unsanctioned, so it doesn't really count. Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross is still going to technically be our main event of the night, but there's going to be a match after it. I'm totally down to see that. I would actually love to see that, because I think that match has way more hype. Like, it's like not even the comparable compared to Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. So hopefully they do that. Ayan says, did you see that WrestleMania stage underneath the pirate ship where the Titantron? So sick. No, I don't think so. Let me take a look. No, I didn't. The skull was really cool. That was a very welcomed addition to the set. Like I've said this a million times, I miss having unique sets for WWE pay-per-views and stuff like that. I really wish they'd bring those back. James says Jericho for the 2022 Hall of Fame. At the end of the day, Chris Jericho belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame. There's no way around it. I think that it'll probably have to be after he's done with his stint in AEW or he's no longer an active wrestler. He's 100% going to be in there, though. 100%. He's too engraved into WWE history. He was the first ever undisputed champion. He's engraved in there. There's a lot of very great WWE moments that involve Chris Jericho. Vance says, hey, I got a speculation. Fiend versus Orton will go on till WrestleMania 39 as the Fiend has no opponent left but Roman. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that happening, because it's long-term storytelling. Okay, it's long-term. Clayton says, I would love to see Pete Dunne versus Walter rematch. Sure, I would love to see that as well. That would be great. No Hack says that Prime Target thing that they did for Adam versus Kyle feud was amazing. Yes, it was. It was so good. That match is going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Clayton with the $5 super chat, he says Undisputed Era is fine. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Let me get some money falling down for Clayton and some woos. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. But yeah, the Undisputed Era is fine. Undisputed Era is fine. If you question my words, just look at the Elite. If you question my words, just look at the Inner Circle. They're fine. They're doing fine. Molly Man says this year's Mania stage set is already 1,000 times better than the WrestleMania set from last year. I actually haven't really seen anything from the set so far. I've been so busy the past couple days, like so busy. But I'm glad that I got out all of those by the number things. I hope you guys enjoyed those if you saw them. I do want to do that going forward for every single show. And then on Sundays, I want to do like a compilation of all of them to kind of compare the wrestling shows and maybe like the women's divisions and stuff like that. Maybe tag teams, we can segment them to singles matches, women's matches, and any sort of tag team thing like that. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Depending on how they do on social media, I might actually just do them in video form as well. I think that, ratings and stuff maybe on Instagram and Twitter, but then I can do ratings and then the by the number stuff as well on YouTube. We'll see though. We'll see. Because I want to do a lot more video content on YouTube in the future. I'm waiting until after Mania goes through because obviously it's just pure chaos. But that is something that I want to focus on after I get out of here. Clayton says, do you watch Ring of Honor? I do not. I gave Ring of Honor a shot like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it late at night. And it wasn't for me. I might tune in later at some point, but it's a lot of wrestling, man. Like it's a lot of wrestling to cover all the time. And I'm busy like doing my outside work as well, because I still run my own business. So it's becoming more and more difficult to have to be home every day, like all the time, to watch and consume all of these things. So maybe in the future, where I can, if this can like pay all my bills, if I can pay all my bills from this, I wouldn't mind sitting here all day and watching wrestling and making videos and doing stuff like that. So if it's something that happens in the future, like I would totally be open to watching New Japan all of the time, watching Impact all the time, watching Ring of Honor all the time and stuff like that. AEW is going to have a lot of shows as well. And I will always be covering the AEW TV show that's going to be on TNT as well. At some point, I might try to add in the YouTube ones into my rotation, but at this point, I'm not quite sure. Maybe if I ever dump out WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, it'd be a lot easier, but there's a lot of wrestling content to consume, man. Lots and lots of wrestling content. Jan says, did you like the parrot? Yes. I love your parrot, man. It's great. DNM says, if there's money flying on the screen, can put a song on X, J. Cole, AT. No, because music would get flagged for copyright. Or not copyright, but it would be content ID, and then they would claim all of the money earned from the video. It would go straight to them, and I don't want to deal with it. Chef says, sorry I was late. No worries, man. We're just kind of getting into the show. We just talked about the first match here. Jaden says, did you hear Hogan say he wanted a world title shot in his Hall of Fame speech? No. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. I did watch the Bellas induction with my fiance, and when they were done, they had the one more match chance afterwards. So kind of take that as you will. Alex says, what show would you want to stop watching, and why is that Raw? Yeah, 100% it would be Raw. I don't want to watch it. I just don't. But it's what I do, and I don't want to stop doing what I do. I might do it eventually, but at this time I don't want to take it out of my rotation. Clayton says, how would you fantasy book the Finn versus Cross match tomorrow? I mean, I would have Finn go over and take Cross to Raw or SmackDown. Probably Raw, if I'm being honest, because they need so much help, man. They need so much help. It's unreal. So anything that they can do to get other people, that I'm totally fine with. if Cross isn't going to win the title from Finn Balor, what does he really have to do in NXT at this point? You know, he's already become the champion. Unfortunately, he had to relinquish it because he got hurt. So why not just bring him to Raw or SmackDown? Bring him to the main roster. His appearance, his theme song, his entrance, like everything about him is huge. So I think that Cross and Scarlett would work pretty well on Raw or SmackDown, especially SmackDown. But, you know, if they just let these people continue to do what they're doing, I don't think they'd have any problems. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do. No Hack says, you think the Superstar Shakeup is going to return? I would hope so. I hope that they do something for the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania. I haven't heard any rumors or any news or any backstage things from anyone. I haven't heard anything. It's kind of crazy. So hopefully there is one. We could really use one really bad. Even just a standard shakeup. Like if they just took 5 or 6 people from Raw and SmackDown and swapped them, that would make a world of difference. But it's, you know, it's always so weird that there's always one WWE show that's much better than the other one. And I'm talking in regards to Raw and SmackDown. Like Raw and SmackDown are never like decent together, or they're never good together. It's like Raw is really good and SmackDown is trash, or SmackDown is really good and Raw is trash. So I really wish at some point they would find that middle ground. And now it looks like I am dropping frames. Come on, Xfinity. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Why do you have the people wait and have to buffer? Come on. James says, did you hear that WrestleMania will be so big that it'll be shown on Saudi Arabian movie theaters? Is it really? That's crazy. But this year, WrestleMania is not only too big for one night. It's not only too big for 2 nights. Well, it's also too big for 2 nights, I guess. Is what I meant to say. WrestleMania is kind of going to be 3 nights. Kind of going to be 3 nights this week. SmackDown is a WrestleMania themed episode of SmackDown. So there's going to be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the Tag Team Fatal 4-Way match that are taking place as well. So WrestleMania is spanning over 3 nights. And we are finally back to the green. Thank God. Leroy says, in the past 52 days, Raquel Gonzalez has won the first ever Women's Dusty Cup with Dakota Kai, become one half of the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, and become the NXT Women's Champion. Yeah. Pretty impressive. Except when you realize that her NXT Tag Team Championship win lasted like 35 minutes. But other than that, it's great. It's great. Ryan says, in Rebellion Impact Wrestling, who you going for? Kenny Omega or Rich Swann? Kenny Omega 100% is taking the Impact World Championship. 100%. And I will be covering that show from start to finish on Instagram and Twitter. And we will probably have a post show for that show as well. Andre says, will Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn be a no DQ match? I'm not sure. Actually, maybe that'll change on Friday. Van says, you can skip Raw if you want or just cover the main thing. Most of us don't mind. Yeah, you know, it's fine. It's fine. There might be a day where I just kind of skip Raw and do AEW Dark Elevation instead. That's possible. But the thing with Dark Elevation is that it's on at 4 o'clock my time. And that's like smack dab right in the middle of my day. So it's a real pain in the ass to like stop everything that I'm doing at 4 and watch the show for like an hour or two and then do like an hour or two post show afterwards would be kind of weird. So I guess I'd be working from like 4 to 8 or something. That'd be kind of weird. Van says, what if Rich Swann beats Kenny Omega? Then hell will freeze over for sure. Jonathan says, do you expect to see NXT call-ups to the main roster soon? Yes. Io Shirai, potentially. Adam Cole, potentially. And Karrion Kross, potentially. Those are my 3. Christoph says, imagine AEW skips a good episode of Raw. You know, and that's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you guys that when I'm like, you know what? I am done. I cannot watch this show anymore. I'm done. It's going to be the best show in the world. I'm going to have 400 DMs from people telling me like, oh, you missed the greatest show in the world. And then I'm going to be pissed because I missed the greatest show in the world. And then I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And then, so that's why I'm always just watching them. I'm always just watching them. Elvis says, one thing I'd love to happen in WWE is for Riddle to turn heel. Not right now, but in a couple years. Sure. I'm sure we'll see that for sure. Dan says, do you think the main event got less time, although it was awesome, but still less time? Yeah, there wasn't a lot of time left for the main event tonight, but I thought it was great. Ryan says, I think in Rebellion Impact Wrestling, the Young Bucks, it's going to Superkick Rich Swann and Kenny Omega's going to win. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Young Bucks show up on Impact now as well, which is crazy because if they start doing all that stuff, I'm going to have to watch that show too. And then we're going to have wrestling from Monday to Friday every single week. That's going to be crazy. Van says, you are lucky. Dark Elevation starts at 4 a.m. in India. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be watching those. I mean, I typically go to bed around 2 or 3 in the morning, but there's no way I would stay up to watch something like that. And there's no way in hell I would watch Raw from 5 to 8 a.m. No way. Not even, not in the slightest. Not going to happen. All right, let's see here. Let's get on with our next match here, which is the Gauntlet Eliminator match. Gauntlet Eliminator. This was a pretty good match as well. Like I said, I don't think that all of the other stuff was really necessary. The Battle Royal that they had, it was a little much. It was a little much to have all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, I think it worked out just fine. I'm trying to find the card so I can get all the names here. Like I said earlier, I was very surprised to see Bronson Reed win. I really, really, really thought that it was going to be Dexter Lumis. I thought that made a lot of sense. You know, he was kind of having that stuff going on with Johnny Gargano in the way and all of that. So I really thought that it just made a lot of sense for it to be Dexter Lumis. And then, you know, Bronson Reed would continue to feud with LA Knight. And then Isaiah Swerve Scott would feud with Leon Ruff as well. But it did not turn out that way. Bronson Reed is the one that got the win. And I couldn't be any more happy for him. Bronson Reed has been incredible since his debut in NXT. They've done a few things with him here and there. He was out for a while. I'm not sure if he was injured or if they were just didn't really have anything for him at the moment. So I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see him picking up some wins. And I'm extremely happy to see him go on to night 2 tomorrow and take on Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. I hope he wins it. I hope he wins it. Bronson Reed will be a very good NXT North American champion. And then we get a bunch of fresh matches as well from it. I feel like it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation. I'm not sure what Johnny Gargano would do after losing the title. I'm not sure who he would feud with. I mean, maybe him and Austin Theory could go after the NXT Tag Team Championships or something like that. That's very possible. But I like I said, I do think it's time to pull the trigger and put someone else in the NXT North American Championship. Johnny Gargano's been involved in it for so long, like literally since that title's inception. I believe Johnny Gargano has been kind of in the realm of challenging or holding that championship. So give it to Bronson Reed. Let's see what this thick boy can do. I'm very excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. What do you think? Who do you have winning tomorrow? Do you think Johnny Gargano should retain his North American Championship, or do you think Bronson Reed should dethrone him? I'm very interested in seeing what you guys think about that. Anthony says Raw from 1 to 4 a.m. That's crazy. That is crazy. DeQuavia says LA Knight versus Dexter Lumis is booking themselves into a corner, and I worry they see Knight as just a jobber. Yeah, man, it'd be crazy to use someone like Eli Drake and not use him to his potential, because he's fantastic. He's fantastic. And, you know, I really don't feel like that name helps him. That name is so bad. L.A. Reid is not a good name for a wrestler. And neither is Franky Monroe or whatever the hell her name is. Franky Monet. That is not a good... Taya Valkyrie is a good name. Taya Monet is perfectly fine. I think that one's good as well. I would prefer to see that. Franky Monet, like, nah, I'm not with it. I am not with it on that one. Andre says, AOW, gotta go. I want to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. See you all. Well, hey, happy birthday, man. Happy early birthday. I hope you guys have, or I hope you have a great day tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you for TakeOver night too, if you're going to be here. But yeah, happy early birthday, my friend. Molly Man says, hey, AOW, would you rather be chopped by Walter or watch a gold match? I would 100% rather watch a gold match any time of the day. You couldn't pay me enough to get chopped by Walter. That would be, my chest hurts when I see someone get chopped. So there's no way. Ryan says, I don't watch Raw that much because it gets boring for me, but I do watch Dark Elevation because it's a good show. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I did watch and cover the first one. It was a little chaotic for me. It still kind of felt like dark. I think that's their biggest weakness, but we can talk about that at some other time. DNM says, any feud with LA Knight is fun. The guy is just that great. He is. Eli Drake is great, but the name LA Knight is just not. It's just not. It's not. Van says, Lucha Libre Online said that 4 million people wake up at 5 a.m. and watch Raw on average. Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Obi James says, maybe Bronson Reed wins the North American Championship and Champa challenges him. I don't know if I'd put Champa in that division or not. I'm not sure. Leroy says, if Johnny Gargano does lose tomorrow, he should go up to the main roster. Well, but leave behind Candice and all of them? I don't know. I don't think they would do that. I mean, God, man, I feel like at some point these people are gonna have to. They're gonna have to. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa said that he would rather retire, or that he would retire instead of getting called to Raw or SmackDown. But don't forget that there was that time that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were both called up to Raw and SmackDown when they were doing that whole stupid thing about like, oh, these NXT people, they're gonna wrestle on Raw and SmackDown and find out which brand they fit on the most, and then they'll get assigned to one. They were both on that. They're both on that. So I don't know, maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe there's a certain amount of money that will make him change his mind. I don't know, but at some point I feel like you can only go so high in NXT. You can only do so much in NXT before I feel like it's inevitable before you need to go to Raw or SmackDown. No Hack says, and I hope Frankie is just the name of the dog. That would be a nice swerve. That would be a really nice swerve. Just have Franky Monet be the name of the dog and then still have Taya Valkyrie. I would love that. I would love that. Leroy says, I'd take a chop from Walter if someone paid me $20 million. Yeah, I would as well. Maybe there is enough money in the world. No Hack says, I didn't mind the idea of introducing NXT people to the main roster, but both Ricochet and Aleister flopped. They did. But, I feel like at some point you think that they would learn their lesson, right? Where it's like, okay, these guys are super over in NXT. They're super popular. Everyone loves them. But it's just not connecting when they come up here. It's just, why are they not working out? I really think that they need to figure it out, and they need to let these people do what they do best, because it's starting to get really annoying. And, I feel like that is why sometimes I feel like it's hard to invest in NXT, because that these people that you love and all of that stuff, like, that they have an expiration date. Most of these people have an expiration date when they move to Raw or SmackDown. They're okay for like a month, if even, and then, you know, they just slowly fade away. So sometimes I really feel like it's hard to get like too involved with NXT at this point, but I don't know. Ryan says, I'm going to watch NXT TakeOver and Impact Wrestling tomorrow. Nice. Man, oh, god damn. That sucks that Impact. So Impact moved to Thursdays to get away from NXT on Tuesday. And their first night on Thursday, they have to go up against NXT TakeOver Night 2. That's rough. That's really rough. DNM says Champa said that he wants to finish his career in NXT, and Cole and Gargano would want that too. So you know what? I say let them go for it. Let them finish their careers there. You know, I still think that, you know, WWE has treated Adam Cole great with his stint in WWE. I could still, at the end of the day, see Adam Cole go to AEW. His friends are there. His girlfriend's there. Britt Baker recently said that the goal is to have him there, and she would love to work with him. I'm sure that he would love to work with her as well. So I think it's a possibility. Molly Man says AEW drinking a Steve Weiser in the background over there. I wish. You know, I would love to have one of Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPAs, but they don't have them here. They don't sell them here. I'm unfortunately drinking a blackberry bubbly. Sparkling water. No Hack says, and I wish Johnny would move up while he's a heel, because I feel like he actually has a chance with a gimmick other than I like wrestling and a faction behind him. I would agree. Vance says, no, not Johnny Gargano. We know what Vince feels about short guys. He will bury Johnny Gargano. I mean, I think he's just going to have to get over it. At some point, you're just going to have to get over it. These guys in NXT, they're killing it for a reason. So it's time to expand your horizons. You know, those episodes of Raw that did very good in the third hour were all wrestling focused. It was like a 35-40 minute match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, something like that. That was the peak hour of their show. They've always worked so hard to keep people around for that third hour. They did the Retribution angle. They did the Raw Underground angle. They do all of this. They had the electric chair thing that Sami Zayn did that one time. They had Raw After Dark or Raw Dark or whatever, where the assets get black and anything can happen during the third hour. None of it worked. It was all gimmicks. No one gave a shit about any of it. But you put on a 40-minute wrestling match at the end, and there you go. Everyone is watching it. It's that simple. It's really that simple sometimes. Elvis says, thank you for a great stream, AOW. I got to go to sleep soon, but I'll stop by for tomorrow's NXT Post Show. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night, my friend. Obi James says, oh, you're drinking a little bit of the bubbly. Yes, a little bit of the bubbly. I've been, trying to be better. And so, yeah, I'm drinking bubbly. Bubbly. Sparkling water, of all things. The light says, blood and guts hype is real. Yes, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for blood and guts. It's going to be amazing. You know, maybe I will. Oh, no, because I have to do WrestleMania. Yeah. I was going to say maybe I'll do a Dynamite review tonight. A Dynamite review video. But I can't because I have the WrestleMania things I have to record. DNM says, I would kill for a Broken Skull IPA. Even better, hanging out with the Texas Rattlesnake. Hashtag give me a hell yeah. Dude, I would. Stone Cold is probably go down as one of my all-time favorites. Stone Cold and probably Chris Jericho too at this point. I would love to meet him one day. That'd be incredible. Ryan says, because Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers are going to fight against Rich Swann and Chris Sabin and Willie Mack tomorrow. Oh, are they? Interesting. That's man, I feel so bad for Impact on that. Alex says, I like listening to the Observer clips because they are echoing exactly what you were saying about main roster WWE. It is so interesting. Really? That's crazy. I've never listened to. Well, no, that's a lie. I did watch a Brian Alvarez thing on Twitch because I thought it was hilarious. He was like pissed off on some sort of rant, or he was like going on some sort of rant about people defending Monday Night Raw. And he was like, look, I'll tell you what. Here's a phone number. Call this phone number. I'll put you on the show and you tell me why Monday Night Raw was a good show. Call in and tell me why. I think he ended up taking about like 5 calls or something like that. And one of the guys that called said that the show was good because he mutes it, and it's good to see people like Matt Riddle on the screen or something like that. And he's just like, dude, what? You're watching it with no sound on? How are you trying to defend this? So it was really funny to see like 5 people call in, and not a single one of them tried to defend it. You know, just like yesterday when, hold on, where is it? Let me find this post. Okay, so this is kind of going off on a tangent. I'm going off a little off the rails here, but this is something that I wanted to mention because I thought it was funny, and no one ever answered my question. So, Fightful said Seth Rollins believes WWE can tell cleaner stories in the Thunderdome, talks social media influence. Ryan Sadden quote tweeted it because it was with him on his new podcast. He said a lot of people are getting worked up over this without reading the full quote, which notes, whether that's good or bad, I'm not entirely sure. I miss the fans and live interaction, but I like being able to cut a promo and getting all the way through it without having a side eye the audience. Some stories have overstayed their welcome, but we've definitely been allowed to tell fully fleshed out stories over 6 or 7 months that we wouldn't get through normally because a live crowd would force creative to change course. Once again, good or bad, it's true. So I said, a fully fleshed out story over 6 or 7 months? Question mark? Am I missing something here? I'd be curious to know what all of these fully fleshed out stories are, because I'm not buying it. What are these fully fleshed out stories that we've seen on WWE in the pandemic? Besides The Fiend and besides Roman Reigns. A lot of people said Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. What is the story? There's not really a story. Seth Rollins was just being a bully to Rey Mysterio for the greater good. What's the greater good? Why is he bullying Rey Mysterio? What's the end? Like, he pulled out his eye? And then they got revenge? And then, like, the Mysterio's daughter was dating his disciple? And then it just disappeared? I don't know. There was not a single person, at least that I saw, that could tell me a fully fleshed out story between 6 and 7 months long. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I'm just curious. What are these stories that I've missed that is 6 and 7 months long? I just don't see them. I don't know. Maybe my definition of a story is different than Seth Rollins' definition of a story. I feel like a story would have a beginning, a middle, an end. So what I pitched was, saying like, oh, Seth Rollins being a bully. To me, that's not a story. Someone else said that Lana getting put through a table. That's not a story. Shane McMahon calling Braun Strowman stupid. That's not a story. So what I said, here's what I think is a story, right? So Seth Rollins always wants to say that long-term storytelling because he called Rey Mysterio an idiot or something like a year ago. So here's the play off of it. You have Seth Rollins, right, who is pissed off because Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. Rey Mysterio had a shot to dethrone Brock Lesnar and he failed to do it. So Seth Rollins is pissed off because Rey Mysterio is a future Hall of Famer. His accolades are crazy, and he wasn't able to dethrone Braun Strowman. Not Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. So in Seth Rollins' eyes, Rey Mysterio is now a part of the problem. If you're not able to solve the problem in Seth's eyes, you are now a part of the problem. So now, not only am I mad at Brock Lesnar for holding the Universal Championship hostage, now I'm mad because Rey Mysterio didn't fix the problem. So in Seth Rollins' eyes, his greater good is the greater good of SmackDown or Raw, whatever the show it is that they were on at the time. So in Seth Rollins' eyes, he needs to start taking out Rey Mysterio for the better of the brand, for the better of the company, because he can't stand up and he can't fix these things anymore either. Seth Rollins was able to beat Brock Lesnar and dethrone him, but Rey Mysterio was not. So that's kind of how I would form a story there. You can tell it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and yada, yada, yada. You don't just say, hey, Rey Mysterio, I'm going to beat you up for the greater good. That's not a story to me. Getting put through a table for 8 weeks in a row is not a story to me. Could you imagine if you opened up a book and it said, The Legend of Big and Lana, a story by AOW. On the first Monday, Big put Lana through a table. Whoosh, turn the page. On the second Monday, Big put Lana through a table once again. Whoosh, fast forward. Week 8. On Monday, Big put Lana through a table once again. Whoosh. Week 9. Big attempted to put Lana through a table, but she slipped out of it and ended up putting Big through the table herself. End of story. Is that a New York Times bestseller? What the fuck? Like, where? I just don't understand. I don't understand it. It's not a story. It's not a story. Rocco says Hangman / the Elite storyline is long term, but the Bucks heel turn was dragged out a little too much. I didn't mind it. I mean, I thought it was obvious, but I didn't mind it. And the AEW has a lot of deep rooted stories and a lot of things. And they don't have those on Raw or SmackDown, despite them being able to control literally every single aspect of the show. It's so frustrating. No Hack says, to be honest, anything can be a New York Times bestseller. That's true. That is true. Obi James says that book would teach kids how to count. That's true. That's true. Maybe it would be the best-selling children's book. Obi James says, I think the Braun Shane story is the worst storyline since Lana Lashley and Rusev. Yeah, I would agree. It's really bad. Basili says, delaying the feed's return is not a story either. Yeah, no, it's not. 3 months. It took them 3 months to bring the Fiend back. That is not a story. They did not do anything really crazy in between those 3 months with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. You could tell all of that was filler. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on. It's not like she tried to revive him or bring him back multiple times and wasn't able to. She never said that, like, oh, he's not strong enough, like he's getting stronger. She just said, like, he'll be back. You know, there was nothing really for it. Like, you could tell such good stories right now and they're just not doing it. It's so frustrating. And especially when, I mean, I guess one of the things here is that you always have to stop and realize that Seth Rollins is the ultimate company man. So at any term or any chance that he gets, he's going to big up his company. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a company man. But man, sometimes I feel like it's so frustrating when it's like, no, like, no, this is not true. This is not true at all. Rocco says Darby beating Brian Cage with a roll-up is long-term since that's why Taz recruited him. Yeah, so stuff like that, like, I didn't even notice that. Someone sent it to me in a Reddit post or something like that and said, like, you know, this is how Darby lost, and then Taz approached him and did all of that stuff. And it's like, whoa, you know, I really wish they would have played on that on TV, or at least showed it. Maybe they mentioned it on commentary and I missed it because of the double coverage, but I like that. Rocco says, did he respond to your tweet by asking to compare bank accounts? No. Van says, all right, AOW, bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Thank you, man, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night. It's like, yeah, well, we tell such good stories. I have $2 million in my bank account. It's like, okay. But do you have money falling across your screen? I don't think so, Father Rollins. Because I do. And I got woos. Right. Safa says Hangman and the Elite was a good long-term story. Before that, it was probably Ciampa and Gargano. Ciampa and Gargano's great. Vance says, I live in India. I have a whole day left, bro. Oh, well, enjoy the rest of your day, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's almost 9 p.m. for me, which means that would almost be, midnight for my East Coast peeps? East Coast peeps? Jan says, okay, so I'm having orange juice and pasta. That's the best feeling ever watching your post shows. Cheers. Thanks, man. Orange juice and pasta. 9:19 a.m. in India. Crazy, dude. So like almost 12 hours ahead almost. Yeah, have a good rest of your day then. You know, good rest of your morning going into the afternoon. Okay, so where are we at here? Next up, we had the match that everyone was looking forward to seeing, and that is Tommaso Ciampa taking on Walter. You'll love to see it. I was so excited for this match. I loved it. It's always a treat to see Tommaso Ciampa on my TV. It's always a treat to see Walter on my TV as well. I love it. I couldn't have asked for any more. This match stole the show for me. Absolutely stole the show. And I think this one was pretty predictable as well. At least for me, like I talked about earlier on in the show, is that Walter has been NXT United Kingdom Champion for 734 days. There was no way they were going to end that on this show. On free TV? No. Nope. Not happening. Not happening at all. And, I guess more importantly, I think everyone cares more about Ciampa shaving his head and not having hair. Which is always a plus as well. And also Ciampa went back to having the panties instead of the pants as well, which everyone was pretty happy about as well. But overall, this match performed exactly how I thought it would. I was very excited to see this. I think this match stole the show, in my opinion. And I thought that Walter winning was the obvious choice. And, again, like we said, or I said in the beginning of the show, I have absolutely no clue who would step up to Walter. And I have no clue who could even potentially dethrone him. For me, if I were to pick Walter's next feud, I would have Finn Balor retain tomorrow. And then I would have Walter come out afterwards. Better yet, send out Imperium to beat the hell out of Finn Balor after he just went through a grueling match with Karrion Kross, and then have Walter come step up to him just being down on the ground. There you go. NXT champion versus NXT United Kingdom champion. There you go. That's an incredible match right there. And, I wouldn't do, of course, I wouldn't do title versus title. This would be a more of a when worlds collide or whatever type deal, where it would just be, it's just the match is so big itself that the titles don't need to be on the line. That's what I would do next, personally. Because I don't know who else would step up to Finn Balor next. I mean, you could argue that Kyle O'Reilly might be the next NXT champion. I wouldn't be mad at that. Now that Adam Cole's out of the way, if Kyle O'Reilly can take out Adam Cole tomorrow, be successful, sure, maybe he can go after Finn Balor and become the next NXT champion. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I'm just kind of worried for Finn Balor and what happens to him next. And with that being said, I'm also kind of worried about Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish as well. Like, where do they go from here? Where does the rest of the Undisputed Era go from here? As of right now, it's always just been Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. The others haven't really been involved whatsoever. They don't really have a say. And if Kyle O'Reilly is going to become a singles wrestler now, where does that leave Bobby Fish? Are Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong just going to team up together and kind of hold on to what they can from the memories of the Undisputed Era? I don't know. It's crazy. I guess maybe we'll kind of see tomorrow or over the next couple of weeks, but it'll certainly be interesting. Ryan says Strong turns face and feuds with Gargano. So Strong and Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. But like, I don't want Gargano in the NXT Championship, or sorry, the North American Championship scene anymore. I would prefer, like, I want to move on from that. I don't mind Strong being in that position, but I don't know. You could have Strong and Bronson Reed, I guess. Anthony says, fun fact, Walter chopped Champa 8 times. Ooh, good Lord, man. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Warrior says, few things I want in life. 2 of them are Daniel Bryan versus Pete Dunne and Daniel Bryan versus Walter. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. I would love to see Daniel Bryan just go be in NXT and have like a couple dream matches. That'd be so cool. I love Daniel Bryan so much. Daniel Bryan wants to wrestle Pete Dunne as well. I believe he said that he wants to wrestle Rey Fenix and Sammy Guevara as well. If I remember correctly. Those might be wrong, so don't quote me on that one. Ryan says, would you love to see Deonna Purrazzo versus Hikaru Shida title versus title? No, I don't want to see really any more title versus title stuff. I'm not a fan of people always holding more than one championship. I feel like it's been way overdone lately. So I would prefer to keep that away. And I feel like it's way more special when you have Kenny Omega going to hold all these championships. I think it makes that a lot more special when he's the only one doing it. So I wouldn't do a title versus title. DMM says, thanks for having me here, dude. I gotta go. Take care, brother. Thank you, man, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night, my friend. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well. Delight says, remember when we thought Edge would challenge for the NXT title? That would have been cool. I would have loved to see that. Warrior says, Brian's final run being an NXT Dream Match streak would be perfect. Yes, it would. It would be so good. So much fun. Flash says, AOW, I need to drop it here. Thank you so much for the show. Escobar and Devlin will steal the show tomorrow. Shout out to everyone in the chat. And remember that Walter rules and Hangman fucks. Thank you, man, for tuning in, Flash. Again, thank you for being a disciple as well, man. I really appreciate your support. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night or day. I can't remember exactly where you were located, so have a good rest of whatever time it is. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well. Rocco says, LA Knight's booking has been weird to me. I agree, it has been weird. Would I step up to Walter? Absolutely not. No, thank you. No, thank you. Ryan says, Drew McIntyre versus Walter would be great for a big UK show. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. I'd be down to see that. I really hope Drew McIntyre doesn't win the WWE Championship this weekend. I really hope so. Night in Mexico. Thanks, dude. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. Have a good rest of your night. Next up, we had a triple threat tag team match with the Grizzled Young Veterans taking on MSK and Legado del Fantasma. This was for the vacated NXT Tag Team Championships. No Hacks says, hey, I gotta go to sleep, but I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you, man, for tuning in as well. No Hacks, thank you as well for being a disciple. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So have a good rest of your night, my friend, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow as well. Ryan says, I would love to see Dr. Britt Baker as AEW Women's Champion. Me too. Leroy says, a few things I want in life. John Cena versus Johnny Gargano. Edge versus AJ Styles and Walter versus Brock Lesnar. Man, Walter versus Lesnar would slap. That would be so crazy. Jan says, fun fact, Drew was the one who pinned Walter at Survivor Series a few years ago. Oh, I don't even remember that. Crazy. I forgot that he was involved in that. Man, that's insane. That is insane. Anyways, this triple threat tag match, it was good. It was good. I posted the spot where they do like the tag teams in submissions and the other guys are like laying next to each other, and they're like praying that each other don't tap out. I live for these spots. I love them so much. They're so good. And I really thought that the Grizzled Young Veterans were going to take the W on this. I was kind of surprised to not see them do that. I still feel like MSK is a little early in their NXT run to be the tag champs, but clearly Papa H saw something in them and they decided to put the straps on them. So I'm very happy for MSK. I'm wondering if Trey Miguel is regretting not coming to NXT. He decided to stay in Impact Wrestling. I mean, I guess maybe NXT didn't want him, because I don't remember, there was a little bit of controversy between stuff like that. I don't think people necessarily knew if he decided to not go or not. But yeah, they threw the tag titles right on MSK tonight. And like I said, I thought the Grizzled Young Vets were winning, but I have no problem with MSK winning. They're fantastic. They've been really good so far on NXT, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. I want to see them defend the titles. It's a real shame that Danny Burch had to get injured, because I love Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan as a tag team. It really sucked to see them get injured. Ryan says, oh yeah, I was going to ask you, are you planning on doing that Discord stream again like you did for the Royal Rumble? I really liked being able to talk with you and give my thoughts. Yes, I do want to do one again. I wanted to do one for WrestleMania, and I'm kind of considering trying to do one on Friday. But I'm not sure. It's just because the schedule is so crazy. I'm not quite sure. Eventually, ideally, what I would like to do is have one for every single pay-per-view. So I'm going to try to fit them back in for sure. Safa says they buried Walter at Survivor Series that year. He was eliminated in 2 minutes. Jesus. Zach says Walter is defending the UK title against Rampage Brown tonight on NXT UK Prelude. Interesting. I'm not familiar with Rampage Brown. I don't really watch NXT UK whatsoever, so I hear it's great though. I hear that a lot of people like NXT UK, and it's just weird because I think it's on at like noon or something like that for me. So that'd be really weird to just like sit around in the afternoon and watch like an hour or two of wrestling. Philip says, good night. See you tomorrow. I got to go to sleep, but can I get a core picture? Sure. I'll give you a core picture tomorrow or whenever you're here. Leroy says, what were the plans for the NXT Tag Team Championship match if Danny Burch didn't get injured? I don't recall off the top of my head, or maybe we didn't even know. I'm not sure. I am not sure, man. I'm assuming that they probably, like, if I had to guess, I would assume that they would have either defended them against MSK or Grizzled Young Vets or something like that. And I don't know, maybe if they were supposed to defend against MSK, maybe they would have won here. Safa says it was MSK versus Danny and Oni. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'm kind of dumb then. It makes a lot of sense that MSK went over. Makes a lot of sense. Philip says, good night. I got to go to sleep. Sounds good, man. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. But yeah, one of the things that I was talking about of MSK winning the titles is that the emotion. I love, like, more than anything as well, like, I love the emotions from people when they win championships. They were saying this was a childhood dream for these guys. I'm assuming to win the just some sort of WWE Tag Team Championships is a dream for them. So like to see their emotions, to see their feelings, and they're hugging each other and all stuff, like I love that stuff. Like it gives you the feeling that these titles actually mean something, they're worth fighting for, and that they actually care about them, as opposed to, you know, a lot of people just kind of win the titles and it just kind of is what it is. There's not a lot of feeling behind them. There's not a lot of passion behind them. And it's kind of the same thing that I said, you know, for an example, was Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. You know, I was like, bro, no, I'm not buying this. Like, I don't want to see this match. Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. I don't think that Eddie Kingston deserves an AEW World Championship shot. Like, it's not for me. No. This dude came out and spit like one of the best 3, 4, 5 minute promos that I've ever heard in my life. And, you know, I was like, you know what, bro? Not only does Eddie Kingston deserve this match, this guy should dethrone Jon Moxley. Like, damn, bro. Like, I believe the passion. Like, I believe everything that you're saying to me. Like, you believe this. You're making me believe this. I can see the passion. I can see the emotion. And it's like, damn. Oh, let's do this. Let's do this. This makes a lot of sense. Like, and I think that's missing. I think that's missing from a lot of things. It's usually just like challenge over and over for the title and stuff like that. So it's always good to see this happen for things like that. Raquel Gonzalez kind of did that tonight as well. She, you know, had a decent celebration after the end. And, you know, I miss, now that I'm talking about it, not a tangent, I miss huge celebrations for world championship changes as well. That would have been really cool to see. That would have been really cool. Marcelo says, I'm surprised at the comment section for the Young Bucks heel turn on AEW Twitter. They're calling it a Russo swerve. I thought it was pretty obvious. Thought that was pretty obvious. And we even talked about it last week. We talked about the Young Bucks swerve happening. Anthony says, for example, Bianca winning the Rumble. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Like, you can just tell that, like, hey, this means something to me. And I'm emotional about it. And it's cool. Because this means the world to me. And I love to see stuff like that. Jan says, I don't understand one logic. Why is the US Championship and IC Championship being defended the same night? They could have had one titles at night one being defended. Are they? I haven't really paid attention to the WrestleMania cards. I guess I'll get familiar with them tonight at some point. Rocco says, I didn't like Kingston at first until that promo, and then after his BTE promo, I was like, he should be AEW champ. Yeah. And that's the passion and the emotion that people should have. Like, that's what gets you invested in these people. This man's cut a promo on like some Sour Patch Kids. And I was like, damn, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Safa says they had a huge celebration for MSK at Vengeance Day after they won the Dusty Cup with confetti and fireworks. Yes, I love it. I love celebrations and stuff like that. It's so cool. So cool. Didn't they do that with Keith Lee as well? I think they did that with Keith Lee. And what they did it with, was it Big E that had one too? If I remember correctly. I don't know. I'm a sucker for huge celebrations. I guess they probably wouldn't be as special if they did them all the time, but man, I love it. I love seeing stuff like that. Next up, we are at our main event match of the night. We have Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's Championship against Raquel Gonzalez. This was a good match to me. I thought it was great. It was a little bit short. I would have liked to see it maybe be a little bit longer. Great match though. I really liked Io Shirai jumping off of the skull. Raquel, I think she was like power bombing Io Shirai on the outside of the ring. That shit looked brutal. I loved it. I think it, like I said earlier, I think it's pretty obvious that Raquel Gonzalez is going to walk out as the NXT Women's Champion here. And I'm not mad at it. I just wish that they wouldn't have given her the Women's Tag Team Championships. I think I see why they did it, but I still don't like it. Yes, she does have that on her list of accolades, her accomplishments. Yeah, I was the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, or half of them, whatever you want to say. But like big asterisks next to that, like 1, they were given to me, and 2, I only held them for 35 minutes before losing them. Not the end of the world, of course, but it's kind of frustrating to me, especially when you're debuting a new title like that. I just think it's completely unnecessary. So like I said earlier, though, once again, to talk about someone on commentary, I think it was Vic Joseph, said that Raquel Gonzalez was the first woman ever to become the NXT Women's Champion and hold the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships as well. And that is simply not true, because Ember Moon is a former NXT Women's Champion, and Ember Moon is currently the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, or half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. So she's the second. She's the second. Ember Moon is the first to have that accomplishment. So I don't know, maybe that's the reason why they did it, so that they could talk her up and do stuff like that, which is fine, I guess, at the end of the day. I am excited for Raquel Gonzalez to see what she has to offer. It's good. In my predictions videos, I mentioned that a lot of the times WWE waits too long to pull the trigger on someone. You can use Braun Strowman for an example of that. And I think I'll always use Braun Strowman as a prime example, because Braun Strowman was on fire back in the day when he was killing Roman Reigns every single week on Raw. If you guys remember that, like, that was peak Braun Strowman. The dude was awesome. He felt like a monster. And then fast forward to now, or even if you want to fast forward to when he won the Universal Championship, like, those are not the same guys. Those are not the same guys. They waited too long. Braun Strowman back then may have been a great Universal Champion. Braun Strowman, during his actual Universal Championship run, garbage. Absolute garbage. Braun Strowman now, even worse. Who would have thought that was possible? Even worse. So, with that being said, I'm glad that they didn't do such a thing here with Raquel Gonzalez. It feels like a really good time to give her this moment and let her run with it. So I'm excited for that. And I'm going to say, I think it's obvious. I think that at some point, Dakota Kai is going to turn on her. It should have been me. They're going to do the Uncle Ziggy thing. Should have been Dakota Kai. She wasn't able to get the championship, but Raquel Gonzalez was able to. I think that's coming down the pipeline at some point for sure. But I'm very happy for Raquel Gonzalez. I'm very excited to see what the Gonzalez era has in store for us. I'm excited to see who the first person is to step up to her and challenge for the title. And on the other side, I'm interested to see what happens with Io Shirai. Is Io Shirai going to get a rematch? Is she going to linger around in NXT? Maybe she'll find a tag team partner and go after the Women's Tag Team Championships? Or is it more likely that she's going to go to Raw or SmackDown? I think it's more likely that she's going to go to Raw or SmackDown, but I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested in finding out. Jan says, AOW, I got to go to sleep. See you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Peace. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. Yeah. Oh, you just said I got to go. Yeah. So I don't know. Have a good rest of your day or night, whatever it is. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well. Night 2 is going to be stacked. So we're going to have a crazy show tomorrow as well. James says, I really hope Raquel is the face when Dakota turns on her, and I definitely want to see Io Shirai as SmackDown material. Yeah, I mean, I could see that since Rhea Ripley went to Raw. You could definitely have Io Shirai on SmackDown. That is for sure. Basili says, if you want to watch championship or wrestling celebrations, watch when AJ Styles won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in 2009 at No Surrender. The fans celebrated with AJ in the ring, lifting him up. That's awesome. I love stuff like that. Like, that makes that feel like a really, really big moment and like a huge accomplishment. I like that. I like that a lot. And you know, if world titles didn't change hands so much, you could probably do some sort of celebration for each one of them and not have it be like overly boring, overly tiring every single time. Wow, almost about 2 hours. Almost about 2 hours. So perfect time. I think that wraps it up for me here. I'm going to get on out of here and start recording and editing these WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 predictions videos. Got a lot of work cut out for me and making the assets for all of this stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. We had two really, really good shows tonight in NXT and Dynamite. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about Dynamite tonight, but that is okay. That is okay. Going forward, there is no Wednesday Night War. There's no more Wednesday Night War. So going forward from now on Tuesdays, there will be NXT coverage and there will be an NXT post show as well. On Wednesday, of course, there will be Dynamite coverage and a Dynamite post show going forward. So very exciting. Tomorrow, the ratings come out about 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That would be 4 p.m. for you folks on the East Coast. So I will be posting those when they come out. I'm kind of interested in seeing what happens. And I don't think we talked about this. We may have when the show first started. But the fact that TakeOver also aired on Peacock might be a bad look for TakeOver. Because for me, I can't watch NXT on TV, so I had to watch it on Peacock. So I'm curious to see if that plays a role in NXT maybe not winning the demos tomorrow. It's very interesting. I hope that, in a perfect world, NXT should blow AEW out of the water in the ratings tonight. They should have killed them. Should have absolutely killed them. So I'm very excited to see how the last night of the Wednesday Night Wars ends. It's very exciting. So tomorrow, bittersweet moment. It's it. It's over. It will be the last Wednesday Night Wars post on Thursday. It will be the last time that you hear it's Thursday. You know what that means. So, like I said, lots of other stuff coming forward as well. We do have NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 tomorrow, Thursday. Friday night, we will have SmackDown coverage. Saturday and Sunday will be WrestleMania as well. So we're going to keep going, man. We're going to keep going. I think we're going to have a post show every single night until Wednesday. Well, Thursday, technically. So we got a show going on until next Wednesday. Every night until next Wednesday. That's crazy, man. KPR says, I have one question. Where is Velveteen Dream? I'm assuming that they're keeping Velveteen Dream off of TV due to his accusations. I think they're probably just going to wait it out. Ryan says, good night from Laredo, Texas. Thank you, man. Have a good rest of your night. Anthony in Laredo, Texas as well. Look at that. That's cool. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys. Like I said, we have coverage all week for all sorts of shows. We will be here every night until, so it'll be until Thursday because we will be here for Dynamite on next Wednesday as well. A full week of wrestling still in the back pocket. So thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it so much. Look out for that WrestleMania Night 1 predictions video tomorrow on YouTube. And of course, I'll have the other one up there on Friday, hopefully as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Oh, Ayan. Have a good rest of your night. And Ayan is headed to the moon. Peace.